Well, that was our training session, and y'all will see that the last thing we did was our anaphylaxis response. Good Monday morning, everyone. I've gotten all of my phone calls out of the way. Just had to call some doctors, get some prescriptions, sort out my infusion stuff for the week. Harlow and I are about to do her daily training session. I say daily. We try to do a training session daily, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But today it's happening. Most days it happens. She looks a little scruffy because Judd gave her a bath last night. I didn't know he was gonna give her a bath. I guess she just smelled bad because of playing with Orion all weekend, but she will look less scruffy later. Oh my gosh, she's losing a lot of hair. She always sheds so much after a bath. So you're gonna get groomed later too when you're fully dry. But anyways, we're gonna do a training session, and I haven't put one in the vlog for a while, so we're gonna include it. Well, that was our training session, and y'all will see that the last thing we did was our anaphylaxis response. When I'm starting... Really? This feeding tube has been going off a lot today. Okay. Anyways. When I start an allergic reaction, the first signs are bright red rashes on my forearms mostly, sometimes on my chest, and I don't always realize that I start scratching them because I get brain fog with my allergic reactions and I just don't feel well. For whatever reason, I don't always realize when I start scratching at first. So Harlow's job is to tell me, hey, I see you scratching, and she starts nudging me to say, something's wrong, let's get this taken care of, take your medicine. And with some of the exercises we did, I used treats, and with some I didn't. With the anaphylaxis response, I always want her to be very excited about it, so I still use treats. I was using apple pieces. And you even saw I would put her away from me in a sit stay or a down stay, and then I would start the behavior, and she would break her stay to come in, tell me about it, which is intelligent disobedience, where she knowingly breaks a rule to keep me safe. Basically, she knows that the scratching behavior during my reactions is the most important thing. So even if she's in a stay or something like that, she knows, okay, my top priority is to tell her about the rashes and the scratching. And you may have even seen that I was trying to trick her by like moving my hands on my knees and doing some other type of fidgeting with my hands. And she's pretty smart. Sometimes I will trick her, but usually she knows it's only the scratching that she needs to respond to. You're such a good dog. Thank you for keeping me safe. I love you very much. You smell like a soggy doggy though. I would like to say that even though we use treats at home when we practice her anaphylaxis response, she doesn't need treats to reliably do this task, like out in public or even, you know, here at home, no matter where we are. She does the task out of her desire to keep me safe, but also because, you know, when I'm teaching her and when I'm practicing with her, I make it very fun and very rewarding. And that's why I still use treats like apples with her, even though she already knows how to do it. And we keep practicing to keep up her established skills, because if we stop practicing altogether, she might forget how to do it. Or maybe not forget altogether, but it just, you know, it won't be as sharp. And then I'd also like to add that Harlow does not alert to my anaphylaxis, meaning she doesn't give me a warning before it happens like she does with my fainting. If I'm going to faint, she'll give me a 10 to 15 minute warning for that. With the anaphylaxis, she doesn't sense it coming, so that's why we train the response task, so she can help me when a reaction does happen. And how I train the response task for the scratching is basically I would imitate the scratching and tell her to touch my hand, because she already knew her touch command. And then I just slowly phased out me telling her touch, and she learned, oh, okay, the scratching means I touch her hand. And we just kept practicing until she was really consistent with it. Wow. Well, things took an unexpected turn for the worse this afternoon. My morning was going well. I was feeling pretty good, and then things just changed. I had a vomiting spell this afternoon, then I had an allergic reaction, and then my pain just flared horribly. So I am in bed early because that is what my body needs. It's frustrating, but this is what happens sometimes, just the unpredictable nature of chronic illness. And my feeding tube is giving me some issues as well. I don't know why, but feeding tube pain just creeps up on me all of a sudden. I think I still don't have the right sized feeding tube. If y'all remember, we recently changed it to a longer tube because the size I had was too short and it was feeling too tight and causing me like pressure sore. Why can't I say it? Like pressure, pain, sore type things. And so we put in a longer one. And at first it felt better. I think it's because it was just giving me more room, but I think it's still too tight. So I went from using tubey pads to using gauze because gauze is thinner, but tubey pads work better for me than gauze at absorbing the natural drainage that comes out of the stoma, so that leakage is irritating my skin, and now I have granulation tissue, and between it feeling a little too tight and the granulation tissue, it's now causing me some uncomfortable pain. So I am going to bed early to rest up and be prepared for IVIG tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to call my surgeon to ask her what she thinks about my tube. Should we go another size up? Does she want to see me in person to look at what's going on? Difficult afternoon, but I'm thankful for my morning and for the good training session I had with Harlow. And when I had my allergic reaction, she did exactly what I needed her to do. And I'm thankful that despite my difficulties today, I was able to manage everything at home. And I am thankfully feeling a little bit more recovered from everything now. I didn't pick up the camera through all of my difficulties today because sometimes I just can't. I just don't feel well enough, and the last thing on my mind is to pick up the camera. I mean, I do want to show y'all all the ups and downs, but sometimes it's just not possible, and I'm sure you can understand that. But happy to report I am feeling a bit better. And Harlow has been like a magnet to me. I think she knows I had a difficult day, and I've got a banana bag here I will be running. I've done all my treatments. I've done everything I need to do for my body. And I'm going to bed early. So with that, we will say goodnight, and thanks for joining us on our adventure.